Welcome to episode 2 of the Cover 2 pod. Today we're going to be talking about week 10 of the college football season. Pretty much same as last week. We're going to just go through some games and then just talk ball.
Yep, for sure. A lot happened and a lot didn't happen really. Kind of an interesting week last week. So
Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to talk about just different games that happened during the week that happened on Saturday. First game, Ohio State versus Penn State. It was a very anticipated game, big rivalry. Everyone assumed that Ohio State was going to win the game. Some people even thought that Ohio State was going to shut out Penn State.
yeah,
But
I was probably one of those people. No, this was it was close for 2 quarters. It was close till half. Penn State put up a good fight, but then Ohio State realized they were number one team and they picked it up to third gear. When they went to that third gear, the score became 38-14.
Yep. Julian Sayin definitely just earned himself a spot in the Heisman conversation, I believe, especially in my list, because last week I did not have him in my Heisman list.
Yeah.
So
No, I had him third, and now I mean he's moving up. I'll say that he's moving up. 80% completion percentage. Right now in the last 5, he's 15 touchdowns, 0 picks. No one more efficient in college football right now. He just walking the ball to the receivers at this point, and doesn't help. He has or helps that he has 2 of the best receivers in the country, or the best tandem in the country for sure.
yeah. Is Jeremiah Smith back? He finally had his first good game.
Yep.
After struggling over the past couple weeks. We kind of talked about that he can't have good games against good teams, and he finally did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it? He had, I believe, 6 for 123 and 2 touchdowns. Very Jeremiah Smith-esque, finally. Kind of coming back to those Heisman talks that the odds makers were perpetuating, even though I thought it was silly. But he has now 700 yards on the season over and 8 touchdowns, 9 touchdowns. So the kid's good. He's back to it. He's back to being Jeremiah Smith, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Is he the best receiver in the country?
It's a good question. It's very close right now. Because I still think that receivers are playing better than he was, even though this great game.
Yeah.
But he's inching himself back in there. Jeremiah Smith he was top 5, but I think a lot of people were overhyping him because of last year. So.
Yeah. Which he had a really good season last year. You know, coming into his college year, his freshman year was he 18? He was
true freshman,
he was very
18
very
years old.
young, and then he comes into this experience going to Ohio State, one of the most watched teams in the country. Ryan Day, was at risk of losing his job. Those talks were going on.
Yeah.
So he had a really good season, and whenever you have a really good season in a freshman, that sophomore slump is always going to come. But people were like, nah, Jeremiah Smith, that's not going to happen. And then whenever it happened, people were kind of shocked.
Yeah, or people were straight up just dismissing the fact that he hadn't put up a 100-yard game against a FBS opponent. He just didn't.
Yeah.
He was locked up against Texas. He's been locked up. He had a good game against Wisconsin, but, I mean, he had a bunch of catches, and he wasn't really getting many yards, though. So,
yeah. Is it time to talk about Penn State and a potential downfall?
The downfall of Penn State, I mean, firing their head coach.
Yeah.
Their head coach is gone. They don't really have a direction right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think that program can easily be back to a top-tier, top-echelon program like it was. Now, the problem is you're going to have to take that job. You're going to have to compete with Ohio State and Michigan
Yeah.
and Oregon. You're going to have to compete with those. So the competition is very tough. But I think Penn State is probably a honestly, top 5, top 10 job with how NIL has boosted the Big Ten,
Yeah.
with how everything has shaken up in the Big Ten, really, that is becoming arguably the better conference in the SEC. So, yeah, Penn State is still a great job to have. It's about finding the guy that can put you over the top.
Well, after the Penn State loss to UCLA, I was talking to one of my old coaches, and he said that there's no way that James Franklin gets fired. Whenever I was saying that Penn State was going to fire James Franklin after the UCLA game,
Yeah.
and what was it? 3 days later, James Franklin was gone. And I think James Franklin is a really good coach. I was kind of shocked by him getting fired halfway through the season, but I wasn't shocked.
Yeah.
I think that he'll get a job somewhere else, but me personally, I think that Penn State I think they're going to go on a downfall. There were lots of prospects that went to Penn State to play for James Franklin, and now that he is no longer there, I think that a lot of transfers, commits, they're going to decommit or choose to go elsewhere just because James Franklin is not the coach there. So I think this is gonna be a downfall for Penn State.
Yeah, I can see with the recruits, but Penn State, the deal is with Penn State, with NIL, and it's also one of those programs. They're gonna get talent. Pennsylvania is a underrated football state. Honestly, they produce a lot of talent in state. Already in the Big Ten, and Franklin is a good coach. He was never going to take you over the top, and that's what whoever's going to hire him next, there's a good chance that Virginia Tech or now the new Auburn job, there's a good chance they take a chance on him, and he will get you to like a 9-10 win season. He's not going to get you over that.
Yeah. Penn State last year, going into the playoff, I thought they could compete, but then came to find out that Drew Aller was not that good at football, and James Franklin could not coach that team to a win.
They benefited from a very weak first 2 games.
Yeah.
They played SMU and Boise State, who were 2 of the 3 probably least talented teams in the playoff last year. So,
which is why I was like, okay, I think it's time to talk about Penn State and a potential downfall. But Georgia, Florida.
Typical Georgia game. This is an average Georgia game. Average Georgia experience in 2025. They're gonna play terrible. This is not Georgia.
Yeah.
They can't run the ball. They can't rush the passer. They're one of the worst pass rushing teams. They only have 8 sacks on the season.
Yeah.
OU has 33. So, this doesn't feel like Georgia of 2022 and 21 where their defense was so suffocating you couldn't do anything. No, you can do stuff on this defense, but they are still coached by Kirby Smart and they still have talent. So they're still one of the most talented teams in the country. So they're gonna win a lot of games, and it's what happened against Florida. It's a rivalry game. I know it's close, but I don't know. Georgia's a little iffy to me.
It's really weird to me that they are not good until they get to the fourth quarter. For example, against Florida, yes, it happened. Florida had the lead. Georgia went down and scored. But I was thinking mainly about the Ole Miss game. That was a couple weeks ago. Ole Miss was dominating Georgia. Dominated them through all 3 quarters. And then as soon as the fourth quarter comes around, it's like they flipped a switch. Trinidad Chambliss was in a chamber. He was not able to complete passes. He couldn't run. And Georgia ended up winning that game. And, as a OU fan, I'm not the biggest fan of Georgia.
We love the Rose Bowl of 2017.
Well, but Georgia is definitely...
Gloss over that.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't really want to talk about that game. Yeah, nightmares. But that Georgia has always been a team that I'm like, okay, I'm really tired of them winning. It kind of reminds me of the Patriots back in the 2010s, or
Alabama the last decade.
yeah, Bama with Nick Saban. But after about 2017, it started to become the Georgia era, you know.
Yep.
And now that they finally started to slow down and they've actually started to lose some games, beat down in some games, I'm like, okay, finally. And then they still find a way to win 9, 10, 11 games every year. But I mean, that's what's going to happen, especially in a rivalry game like that. They were able to stop DJ Lagway, kept him from running in the fourth quarter. First 3 quarters, I mean, DJ Lagway looked like one of the best quarterbacks.
He looked like that preseason SEC or preseason All-American that people were trying to
compare him to.
Yeah.
But yeah, DJ Lagway, he had a great game until the fourth quarter. Like I said, Georgia really started to amp up the defense. They could suddenly magically run the ball in the fourth quarter. That's how they took the lead off of a rushing touchdown. It makes no sense to me. I don't know what's going on over in Georgia. But the most controversial thing from this Georgia-Florida game was that third down pass.
Yeah.
Wide open receiver. They called it incomplete. DJ Lagway had a wide open receiver. They called it incomplete on the field, went to review, and still called it incomplete. I think that was the most controversial play of the week. I think that Florida would have won the game if that pass was called complete. If that pass was completed, they would have been in Georgia territory with all the momentum in the world. But no, they went back to review and they called it incomplete. Florida ended up winning the game because Florida could not convert on fourth down.
It was an interesting call, to say the least. Part of me wants to blame on Lagway for not. I want to be that guy. Oh, deliver a better ball. He was rolling out left. He's throwing not across his body, but it's way harder to throw left.
Yeah.
But I think it's incomplete. That's where we disagree. I thought, when just looking at the replay, it looked to me that it hit the ground.
Yeah. I would say, though, there wasn't enough evidence to overturn the call.
That is true.
But at first glance, I thought it was a complete pass.
Yeah.
Any person in the stadium or any person watching on TV was like, okay, that's a catch. And then they rolled it incomplete and were like, what in the world?
Yeah.
And then they go to the review and like, oh, okay, I understand why they called it incomplete. There's not enough to overturn it. So I understand, but if Florida if that pass would have been called complete, Florida would have won the game, and they probably would have ruined Georgia's season.
Yeah, it was, I mean, to me, what I've seen, it's 50-50.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Part of me wants to think that somehow Georgia, because that's what they've done this season, you just can't kill them.
Yeah.
Part of me still thinks they win that game.
Mm-hmm.
But like, just looking at Georgia, they still have Georgia Tech. They still have Texas. Let's see how long this act keeps up. I've been, Carson knows this. I've been talking ball with him for years. But he knows I am normally a big Georgia stan, Alabama stan, SEC stan for a while. I'm out on Georgia, really. I'm not as high on them.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Vandy, Texas. This was an interesting one.
Yeah, this at Texas. Someone brought this up. Texas was going to play good at home because it was their first home game since September.
Yeah.
So they showed up immediately and straight up looked like that AP preseason poll #1 team in the country against Vanderbilt. Mm-hmm. They dominated them on every front. They were more physical. They were bigger. They started off with a 75-yard screenplay. Yeah. That looked like a lot like. Too bad they lost that game. I was going to bring up memories, but Xavier Worthy.
Oh yeah.
The Big 12 championship. It looked a lot like that Ryan Wingo, but no. This is what I brought up. The score of that game was a lot less. The score does not tell. Texas had this game won literally until the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
But there was not a chance. There was not a feeling of, I think Vanderbilt could take this. There was an onside kick, but whenever it was done, like there wasn't a chance for Vanderbilt for me. So, and I think Arch Manning, that's the second straight 300-yard game. He's looking better and better each week now.
Yeah.
I think, I don't want to say we overreacted, but this whole biggest quarterback bust, I think it was a little overboard for me.
I mean, I agree. This game was pretty much over as soon as it started.
Yeah.
Starting off, scoring on first play of possession. Vandy immediately next drive fumbles the ball. Texas goes down and scores. That's 14-0, like 5 minutes into the game.
Yep.
Then it just started. It was a massacre until the fourth quarter. I don't know if Texas let off or that, but
What every team does. It's
exactly.
obnoxious.
Vandy scores 21 straight in the fourth, which finally I'm like, okay, what is happening? The game didn't even feel real until the onside kick, and it about got recovered. If it wouldn't have bounced out of bounds, Vandy would have had the ball down 3.
Yeah.
And potentially go tie or win the game.
Texas defense needs to tighten up a little bit.
Yeah.
It's been getting a little bit, not exposed, but it has shown kinks in the armor.
Yeah. Is Vandy's season over? They've played 2 games away.
Yep.
They played at Alabama, lost, got killed. Went to Texas, got killed.
Yep.
Almost won the game, but still got killed for 3 quarters. We've seen Vandy play 2 really good teams, and
frankly get outclassed.
Yeah, they have not looked like a top 10 team, like they've been ranked.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel about that?
I don't want to say their season's over. They play Auburn, and then they have their final game against Tennessee, which will be a good one. I don't know. I can't say if it's over.
Yeah.
But those losses are pretty, because like I said, the Texas game, that was a lot less close than it actually was. You can lose to Bama. You can lose to Texas. But you can't lose to them like that. Like, it's different, and they're going to be, and the fact that the talent disparity between them and the other 2 lost teams in the conference, to me, it's very hard for Vanderbilt to get in. I don't really see how, especially with Oklahoma being 2 lost, Texas being 2 lost, Georgia being 2 lost. Only so many SEC teams. Everyone talks about SEC bias, but I think only so many SEC teams can get in the playoff.
Yeah. I think realistically, that Vanderbilt's season is pretty much over. Diego Pavia, great quarterback. He's really good. Showed that he could finally pass the ball.
Yeah.
He had 375 passing yards against Texas.
Eli Stowers. Know his name.
Yeah. So whenever you think about that in the long run, yes, he had a good game, but it was in the fourth quarter before it was too late.
Yep.
I think that Vanderbilt likes to get themselves into situations to lose games. And yes, they've gotten lucky a few times to win. For example, against Missouri, Bo Perbula breaking his leg, and only won that game by 7 points. It's just been a very interesting road for Vanderbilt, especially whenever going into the season they were like, oh, they're gonna be terrible. So whenever they started off the season, 6-0, 6-0, went to Bama and lost. We were like, okay, maybe they're okay, but I mean.
Yeah.
And then they go and beat Missouri at Missouri.
Yeah, at Mizzou.
And then they play this game against Texas and get absolutely killed. I feel like I think Vandy's season is over.
Moving on, we can see Georgia Tech versus NC State. Top 10 going down to an unranked NC State team. We were high on Georgia Tech last week. We did not address the elephant in the room, which is their defense. Very porous. Second worst rush defense in the ACC, and it showed. NC State rushed for 243 against Georgia Tech.
but
and
also had 583 yards of total offense.
600 yards.
600 yards of total offense against the undefeated 8th-ranked team in the nation.
Yeah.
You know, Haynes King is my guy. He's my Heisman favorite.
And he
Man.
showed up really.
500 yards of offense, and they lost the game. This man threw for 450, 400 yards, had over 100 yards on the ground, and they lost. A little bit of Joe Burrow vibes, maybe.
Anyways, we're moving on, and no, what we saw was, I think, just Georgia Tech's an overachieving team. I kind of thought that midway through the season, but this kind of solidified it. Georgia Tech is not out of the playoff. It's only one loss, but is a loss in ACC play, which is going to affect them.
Yeah.
I
still think they're going to win the ACC. I think they're still the favorite to win the ACC, but they can't lose another game the rest of the season.
No, they can't.
Because there are a lot of teams in the ACC that are definitely competing.
Yep.
That were not projected to compete at the beginning of the year. Virginia is 8-1, same record as Georgia Tech.
Louisville is also 8-1, 7-1.
Yeah, Louisville also good. I mean,
Miami's still in it.
They're still in it. But those are the four. I mean, SMU could be a sneaky team. They have 3 losses, but
only 2 in conference.
Yeah, only 2 in conference, I think, and they just came off a win against Miami. I think this SMU is also a very sneaky team.
Yep.
It was just very interesting to see a NC State team that was not very good score 45 points on Georgia Tech.
Watch out, 2027. I think C.J. Bailey, quarterback for NC State. Yep. Watch out for him.
Yeah, he's good. Miami versus SMU. What'd you think?
Miami SMU. We were both predicted this upset.
We did.
Typical Mario Cristobal showing against unranked teams. This is what he does. This is what he showed at Miami. No one does more with less than Mario Cristobal. We saw that at Oregon. We're seeing that at Miami now. Many analysts and experts, when Miami was ranked number 2, everyone was actually, a lot of people were saying they could be number 1 for how they looked physically, and they have so much talent. Offensive line, defensive line. I mean, they have probably a top offensive tackle and defensive tackle. They have good running backs.
Yep.
They have Malachi Tony's probably one of the best freshman receivers right now.
Yeah.
And when Beck is playing good, and we'll get to him, they're really good. Their defense, there's a lot to love about Miami.
Yeah. Going into the season, I was like, okay, Miami's going to be good. They have a 6th-year quarterback who played 5 years at Georgia. I think he has
2 years of experience, though. He only played 2 years.
2 years of playing, competing for a really good Georgia team, transferring to Miami. They gave him, $4 million, something like that.
NIL, yeah, they paid the big bucks for him.
They paid for him good, and
get what you paid for.
He's not clutch. He's not a clutch quarterback. As soon as he gets into a tough situation, a hard game, he completely forgets how to play football. 4 interceptions against Louisville. I think he had 2 Saturday. Yep. He's not worth $4 million.
Nope, and it's gotten back, how Beck has performed, it's gotten back to old Georgia days. We saw it against Alabama last year. We saw it against Alabama the year before. We saw it against Ole Miss. Whenever he turns the ball over, his team loses. And I'll actually get to Carson Beck in a minute. But no, get to Carson Beck, just why is Miami should be a lot better than what they are. They should be a lot better. And the problem is they put all their eggs in a basket with Carson Beck, and they're getting what they paid for.
Probably being the best team in the state of Florida when it comes to college football, you're expected to be a good team, especially having all this talent from Florida. Being ranked number 2 4 to 5 weeks ago to now being where they're at. I think that Miami only succeeds off of how Carson Beck is playing and how the defense is playing. And the defense was okay against SMU.
Okay.
Kevin Jennings was throwing all over him. It's so weird to me how Kevin Jennings, how streaky he is, how like he either has a really really good game or he's absolutely awful. It's so weird to me. But I had whatever we were doing our predictions last week. I had a feeling I was like, okay, Kevin Jennings has had 2 decent games. I think he's gonna explode for a good game, and he definitely did that.
Yeah. And going back to last year, it kind of was some of Kevin Jennings. You saw great games all of last year, and then you get to Clemson, and then you got to Penn State, and again, it looked off. But with SMU now, they've turned that program around. Rhett Lashley, I believe, got an extension, so I don't think he's going anywhere at SMU. So that's pretty interesting. SMU's probably set up for competition in the ACC. I mean, they were runner-up last year, and they're in it this year. So SMU, that is a good program right
they're
now.
good. They definitely are competing. I mean, like I said, they could compete for the ACC, but it's hard because they have 3 losses, 2 of them coming from ACC play. But them beating Miami is going to be a very, very big help boost to them winning the ACC.
Yeah. Well, 1 loss in ACC play.
1 loss. Okay, 1 loss in ACC.
Yeah, they lost to TCU and I believe another team that was not conference.
Okay.
Next game, Utah-Cincinnati. This was, quote, a ranked matchup that turned into a slaughter.
Yep. I mean, it was the college game day
destination. Everyone was hyped for this game. We had kids in, was it at Cincinnati? We had kids at Cincinnati, doing the game day stuff, probably pre-gaming, probably going like at 2 a.m. just to watch 42-14, or 45-14.
It was bad. It was bad. I think we have a new Big 12. I think we have a new favorite in the Big 12.
You can say new. I have been day one on Utah.
Well, I was high on Texas Tech to start the season. They're succeeding. They're 8-1. But I was also high on Iowa State. That's pretty much done. Like, that's over. But I think that Utah, Devin Dampier, is really, really good.
Yep.
Real good. I think Utah is one of the hardest places to play in the country.
Yeah.
Night game in Utah. That's all that everybody was talking about. They were like, I personally predicted this game to be close, which I think a lot of people did, because Cincinnati was ranked higher than Utah.
Utah had the 2 losses. It was a high caliber Big 12 matchup.
Yep. And everything that we just said was wrong. Utah dominated in all aspects of the game except for yards.
Yeah. Look at the score and then look at yards. It makes no sense.
Cincinnati had 427 yards of offense.
On 14 points.
On 14 points, and Utah had 480 yards on 45 points. If you were to not have watched a second of the game and then looked at the box score, you were like, what just happened?
Yeah. And also, who I've been seeing praised on, Brendan Sorsby of Cincinnati, who's been excellent all year. He had his worst game. He completed 11 passes out of 33. He still had 200 yards. Still had 200 yards passing. So they were getting chunks, but it didn't matter. It was probably another situation of them playing soft because they were up so much in Utah.
Yep. Okay, moving into the Indiana versus Maryland game. We're gonna talk about the next one, but that was not pretty. That was not a good game. If you watched the last episode, I predicted that Maryland would upset Indiana, and I could not have been any more wrong. 55-10, which actually is really funny because Kale.
I said as a joke 55-0. And that was close.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Indiana is real good. Offense high-powered, defense high-powered. One of the best coaches in the country, one of the best quarterbacks in the country. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pick the 4-3 Maryland team with a true freshman quarterback to go into Indiana and try to upset the number 2 team in the nation, right?
Yep.
Good idea. But
they fired their coach too.
They also fired their coach. But I was wrong. Indiana's really good.
Yep. They rushed for, I believe, 373 yards on Maryland.
Yep.
So, oh yeah, everyone's talking about Mendoza and Surratt and these receivers. Oh yeah, they could also just pound you. Like, Indiana's good. We're going to talk about the next week matchup against Penn State, and I'm really curious to see that too.
Yep.
See if they keep going with this.
Now, the moment that you've all been waiting for. Boomer!
Anyways.
OU versus Tennessee. I'm sitting next to one of the biggest OU haters that I know, and I just want to laugh in his face, but I'm not going to.
I was crying looking at the game. Luckily, the World Series was on the same night, so I watched the Dodgers win the World Series. So not too bad, but yeah, from how this game went, I thought it was going to be a lot better than it actually ended up being.
The Oklahoma Sooners beat the Tennessee Volunteers 33-27
At Tennessee.
At Tennessee at night, dark mode game. Whenever I found out that Tennessee was wearing their dark mode jerseys, I was terrified.
Yep.
I think those are the best jerseys in college football. But yeah, Tennessee season officially over. 3 losses. There's absolutely no way they can make the playoff.
Nope.
Even if they went out. Oklahoma's playoff chances absolutely just skyrocketed.
Yeah.
I think they are now at 45 to 48%. If they went out, I believe that they should make the playoff.
Oh, if they went out, they should make the playoff. Now it's debatable if they are going to win out.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's guaranteed that they're going to win out. They have bye week this week, then they have to go to Alabama, then they play Missouri and LSU at home. It's not going to be easy, but I think it's doable.
Yeah, I don't know. This was if you watched literally the first quarter and the second, midway through the second, you're like, wait, Tennessee just outclasses them. Because they're getting chunk plays it seemed like every play. I don't know why Heupel was kind of, because running into OU, their run defense is good. They're running into OU. It's like running into a brick wall. There's only Ole Miss, Kawhi Lacey, and Texas have been able to run.
Yeah.
But when you're as not dynamic or a schemer like Sark and Kiffin, and I love Heupel, but I saw some play calling deficiencies in that game.
Yeah. I think Tennessee only had one rushing play of more than 10 yards for the entire game.
Yeah, and it was just running into a brick wall at every first down, and Tennessee kind of got away from what was working, which was RPOs, slants over the middle, crossers over the middle.
Which, that RPO that they ran that led to Heineke stripping the ball out of Aguilar and R. Mason Thomas running it to the house.
Yeah.
That was an RPO. And if you look at the replay, the receiver was wide open. That was a touchdown. But instead, it was a 14-point swing, tied the game 7-7.
Yeah, it was. Part of me wants to be like, "Oh, this is Tennessee's fault." But I gotta realize OU's defensive line is still very good. It is the best, not best, maybe best in the country. Maybe.
I think we have the deepest because as soon as R. Mason Thomas comes out,
they
of the
were
game,
still dominating.
Exactly. As soon as he came out of the game and he was ruled out for the rest of the game with a hamstring injury, R. Mason Thomas's backup, he immediately was like wrecking havoc. Like first play, he gets a tackle for loss, helped a sack. OU's defense. People said that Tennessee's offense, other than North Texas, is the best offense in the country.
Yep.
If you look at stats, and OU did not care.
No.
It was amazing. It was great to watch. It was a really weird game, especially the way that the game started. Joey Aguilar fumbling the ball first play of the game. It was
a weird game. Now I'm thinking about it. Just nothing made sense.
Yeah, it was weird.
Nothing made sense. Yeah. John Mateer had probably his best game since coming back from the
thumb surgery.
Yeah, the thumb surgery.
Which I think he had his best game all season.
I think Michigan was very good. I think Michigan was really good. But no, probably had as a runner, probably had one of his better games for sure. Probably his best game running the football, to be honest.
He made some of his best throws.
Yep.
He was completing passes. He was running. He was being more smart instead of spending so much time in the pocket, which is what cooked us against Ole Miss and Texas. He was standing too long in the pocket. And with that offensive line, with all his injuries and how it's not very good, which led to him getting sacked a lot. But he decided, you know what? I'm an athlete. I'm going to decide to run, which is what I'm good at. And he ran for a lot of yards. He was completing passes. I wish we would have gotten Satania more involved. I think he only had 3 catches.
It was, very interesting that Satania was not involved, especially with a not great secondary.
Yeah. I think we finally have a glimpse of a run game at OU. We were averaging a little over 4 yards a carry. Xavier Robinson is the starting running back at OU. I love Blaylock, but Xavier Robinson is exactly what fits what OU wants and what OU needs. A power back that's going to get you 3 to 4 yards every single carry, and it showed. Last drive of the game, he runs right through a perfect hole, probably the best blocking for the entire game, which led to the OU dagger, which led them to winning the game.
And also just looking at that game, it was like, I guess what I said was Tennessee's. I said Tennessee's offense is a better unit than OU's defense.
And you were wrong. You were wrong.
50-50 on that.
No.
What I can say, OU's offensive unit might be better than Tennessee's defensive unit.
OU's offense did look really good. Yeah. Not really good, but it looked better than I thought it was.
Better than it has looked the past couple of weeks, for sure.
My score prediction was 28-24. That's pretty close. OU scored 33 points. I mean, I'll take it. A win is a win.
Yeah.
Especially going into a bye week, having an extra week to prepare for probably the biggest and hardest test of OU's entire season, going to Alabama, which luckily it's not a night game. The game is at 2:30. So that gives us a little bit of hope, a little bit of peace about it. But I think we're going to be fine. I think it's going to be a good game. But to get off of OU, is Josh Heupel's job in jeopardy?
I've seen this. I wanted to bring this up. I've seen this. The fans might want him gone.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you why you don't want him gone. Because looking at Tennessee, before Heupel got there, they were not the same program that you guys were in the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah.
They weren't with Philip Fulmer. They weren't winning national champ. They weren't even winning 10 games. So I think it's very silly that you want Heupel gone, that Tennessee fans want Heupel gone. Considering he's beaten Alabama twice, actually.
Yeah. Which he's 2-5 against Bama, I think. He's won 2 out of 5 against Bama and has never beaten Georgia. That's a problem. I understand where Tennessee fans are coming from, that Josh Heupel can't win big games, but he's also probably a top 5 offensive-minded coach in the country. The only reason that Tennessee has been ranked in big games like that is because their offense has been so star-studded.
Yeah, Heupel he's sort of along what we thought of James Franklin. He's become the SEC James Franklin.
Yeah.
In a sense where he's going to be everyone else besides
Georgia
and Alabama.
Yeah.
Franklin could be everyone else besides Michigan and Ohio State.
Yeah.
So this is going to be I think you should slow down on Heupel. Give him definitely like 2-3 more years. I'd say.
Yeah.
Until he can win the big game. I think if this keeps up, I believe you have a option to fire him. But right now, do absolutely not, considering where he's gotten you.
No. Which I think going in the opposite direction, Brent Venables just saved any chances he had of getting fired at the end of the season.
Yeah.
They were saying that Brent Venables is one of the worst coaches in the SEC, can't win a big game. That was his first ranked road game win as OU's head coach.
I had a rant last week about Venables.
Yeah.
This saved him. Don't know how long. Especially with they still have LSU, Bama, and who are they?
Missouri.
Missouri. Yep.
Which I think it saved him until next season.
Yeah, it will say I agree that it will save him from getting fired now.
Yeah.
So I believe this saves his job temporarily.
Yeah. Which I mean, I could see Brent Venable at OU for probably another 2 to 3 years, just like Josh Heupel. Love Brent Venables. Love what he's done with Oklahoma. Not just from a football standpoint, but from a just character standpoint as well. Oklahoma has some of the most humble players I've ever seen, except for David Stone. Shout out David Stone, talking to Lane Kiffin. But I just think what he's done with this team, yes, the defense is phenomenal. No, the offense isn't great. But I just love what he's done with the team. And if they end up letting him go or he ends up deciding to leave somewhere else, I'll be very sad. But the OU fans that are saying that he needs to be gone now, I disagree with, especially after a game coached just like this.
Yeah. See, as a OU, I'm basically an OU fan at this point. I know a lot about OU.
Yeah.
Because I hate them on them so much. But see, that's where I disagree. I won't go too far into a rant because, to be honest, because we're going to, the comparison is going to be Lincoln Riley at USC versus Brent at OU because that's Lincoln Riley left. USC, as much as people have crapped on Lincoln Riley has got more crap for winning more, not to an extent that he was at OU, has got more crap for winning more at USC than Brent Venables has at OU.
Which is what I said is nobody liked OU. Nobody liked OU when Lincoln Riley was head coach, right? It just shows you what kind of a person Brent Venables is outside of the field, outside of coaching, which is why I said I much love and enjoy what Brent Venables has done with OU and their character. There's a clip from a presser, I don't remember when it was from, but Brent Venables said that the team GPA was like 2, 1.92 GPA. Players weren't passing drug tests with Lincoln Riley as head coach.
Yeah.
Brent Venables focuses more on because a lot of players on that team aren't going to play football in the league. There are going to be a lot of players that aren't. None of those players are going to play football forever.
Yeah.
It's more than football, which is why I love Brent Venables so much. Yes, everybody's giving crap for Lincoln Riley, but that's Lincoln Riley.
Yeah.
Right? Brent Venables at Clemson, that one of the greatest dynasties over a 5-year stint. But whenever they were losing games, whenever they couldn't win, make it to the next league, nobody really said much about Venables as a defensive coordinator. Whenever Clemson's defense was the issue, right, they went to Dabo Swinney, right? No, I don't think that OU is at the peak of their powers like they were whenever they were winning 11, 12 games every single season. But I'm okay with OU now the way they are, because I think it's only up from here.
Yeah. Then go be a sports psychologist. Here's the thing. No, like, I get you want a good play. You want good people. I mean, and like, it is about student athletes. It is about that. I hate being this guy, but have you seen Kirby Smart winning 2 national championships at Georgia and the amount of arrests that his players have had?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's
fine. But
yes,
you also
character.
have some of the best recruiting classes in the country every single year.
And you're Georgia.
Yeah, exactly.
OU is a better program than Georgia, so why have we not gotten that? That's my point. Because OU is as a hater, I am saying they are a top 3, top 5 program in college football all time.
Yeah, I agree.
I am saying this. When you're at OU, winning 10 games once and having 2 losing seasons, that shouldn't fly. That shouldn't be the standard. Oh, we're great guys. Well, I don't want to be that guy. You're in the wrong profession because
Yeah.
not everyone's a good guy.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I agree. I didn't mean to get like all deep into it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just hard because
the reason I'm saying this, this is a very like far reach. I'm not gonna lie, but when Oklahoma State, when we had Mike Boynton as head coach, everyone was talking about how, how great of a guy he was getting these recruits, how just like everyone loves him and wants to play for him. We didn't win.
Yeah.
And like no one was saying anything. But like there's a difference between you can be a good player, a good human, and good football coach.
Yeah.
That you can, but right for a program, and I care about football.
Yeah. I see where you're coming from.
I want a good head coach.
I see where you're coming from. But the last takeaway that I'll take from the OU game, Tate Tindall's the GOAT.
The zesty kicker?
The zesty kicker. I don't care if he was zesty. I don't care if he was wearing shorts. I don't know. I don't care if he was wearing ankle
I
socks.
didn't mind that. The way he was kicking field goals, he could basically go in underwear. I wouldn't complain.
He had 2 55-yarders, a 51-yarder, and a 40-yarder. One OU the game. That's 12 points.
2 55-yarders in a road game at Tennessee.
Yeah, at night.
You know that stadium pulse was going crazy,
Yep.
and he
it
just
didn't
beat
matter.
it.
He was just mean mugging.
Yeah, pulling his shorts up even more every time.
Every single time. And he was kicking that ball even farther.
Asserting dominance at Tennessee. You'll love to see it.
Yeah.
So, moving on to our next segment, we're going to discuss our winners and losers of the week. Going into it, I think my winner of the week, we just had a long soap opera of Brent Venables, but Brent Venables is my winner of the week.
Yeah.
He did a lot. That was a lot for his job, and it's a really good win at Tennessee. So
Yep, for sure. Mine is Arch Manning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know OU guy talking about Arch Manning, which I still not high on him. Think he needs a lot more reps, but he had a great week. He's had 2 300-yard passing games, back-to-back weeks. That Vanderbilt defense is no slouch either, and he was playing great. He was playing great football. My loser of the week is Carson Beck, and then I have another one.
Okay.
My GOAT, Haynes King. 500 yards of offense and lost.
Yeah. Haynes King's not a loser, more his Heisman.
Yeah.
Because that took a big bump.
Yeah. Which Carson Beck we already talked about quite a bit, but he's not clutch. He's not good in tight games.
I said Carson Beck also, and I said Georgia Tech overall.
Okay.
But we discussed Georgia Tech on why they're a loser, but going to Carson Beck, what really made me choose him as my loser of the week was the post-game interview, and he said, showing no accountability of his 2-pick game.
Yeah.
Saying, I don't know. I'm just executing the plays that are called. Back-to-back losses that he has deflected the blame for his own actions.
Yeah. He doesn't keep himself accountable.
He's not a professional.
No. And we saw it at Georgia too. So
we saw it at Georgia. If you know, you know. You've seen his Snapchat stories. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
We know what type of person Carson Beck is. So this should be surprising, but man, as someone in 23 who is super high on him, his first year in Georgia, I can't. I'm officially off the Carson Beck NFL talks. I just not only is he super streaky as a quarterback, he's not a good leader at all.
He's not. He's not a winning quarterback. I mean, he just had Kirby Smart as his coach.
Yep.
All right, my dud of the week is Cincy versus Utah. We already talked about it quite a bit, but Utah dominated in all aspects of the game. Cincy was the higher-ranked team. Cincinnati was projected to win the game, actually.
College game day.
Yeah. But Utah dominated. New Big 12 favorite.
Yep. My dud of the week was going to be that Kentucky Auburn 10-3.
Mm.
Auburn final blow of Hugh Freeze. Hugh
Yep.
Freeze is gone.
Yep.
And
Finally. Took way too long.
finally, they benched Jackson Arnold.
Yes.
Just a absolute dumpster fire of a season for Auburn.
Yeah.
And losing to the worst team in the SEC just solidifies that.
Yeah, exactly. My dub of the week. Oklahoma versus Tennessee.
Anyways.
I think that was the best game of the week. No bias. But Tennessee was only 2.5-point favorites. But everyone was, even Pat McAfee on College Game Day was like, oh, just to spread out the picks, I'm going to pick OU. But I like Tennessee a lot. We proved all the haters wrong. I just hope it carries into Alabama.
Yep. My dub of the week, SMU versus Miami.
Okay.
Gone to overtime. I was watching that game and actively cheering for SMU. So, because we both picked SMU.
Yep.
So, I feel like I had to stick with my pick. And, yeah, every narrative about Miami and all the narratives about SMU were enforced.
Yep.
What I thought is what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And got a huge win for Rhett Lashley.
Yep. All right. We're going to react to the
AP top
AP poll.
25.
Top 25, just like last episode. We'll talk about that. And then we made our own. We haven't seen each other's, so we're just going to compare. Moving into the AP poll that came out yesterday. It's pretty same for the top 7. You got Ohio State, Indiana, A&M, Bama, Georgia, Oregon, Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
Then that's whenever the losses started to happen, the top 10 losses.
Georgia Tech.
So there's a little bit of shifting. Georgia Tech, Vandy, they both lost. So BYU at 8, Texas Tech at 9, Notre Dame at 10. Boomer Sooner, baby. Oklahoma moved up to 11. I was a little shocked by that, but I'm not gonna complain.
Yeah. Well, I have a problem with that. So.
Yeah. But moving on, Virginia at 12. 13 Texas, Louisville 14. They dropped Vandy to 15, Georgia Tech 16. They only moved Utah up to 17.
Utah only blows out every other team besides Texas Tech and BYU, who are 8 and 9.
Yeah, but Miami is 18, Missouri 19, no shift there. 20 USC, 21 Michigan, 22 Memphis, 23 Tennessee, 24 Washington, and somehow Cincinnati is still ranked.
Cincinnati's still ranked. Man, Texas OU, that'd be a good matchup. They're very close in the ranking. I wonder what happened in a neutral site.
Anyways, Kale, who's your number one in your own personal rankings?
It didn't change. It's Ohio State.
Ohio State is your top 6 the same?
From last week, yes. I still have Oregon over Georgia. But yes, my top 6 is the same. Ohio State, Indiana, A&M, Oregon, Georgia.
Nice. So I still have my Aggies at number 1.
Yep.
Texas A&M. Ohio State 2, Indiana 3, Bama 4. I actually switched Oregon to 5.
Mm-hmm.
Dropped Georgia down to 6 because Georgia can't play 4
Yeah,
quarters.
that's what I had them last week.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yep.
Georgia can't finish close games. I still have. Well, they can finish close games, but it takes them until the 4th quarter.
Yeah, Georgia.
So.
Well, that's the thing. They can finish close games.
Yeah.
They have close games, and they shouldn't have close games.
Exactly. I have Ole Miss 7, BYU 8, Tech 9. Okay, so that's all pretty similar. Oklahoma at 10.
Okay.
I'm not high on Notre Dame.
Yeah.
We've talked about that. I have them at 11. I couldn't put Texas over Notre Dame. I was really, really tempted to.
Yeah.
Really tempted. But I didn't, so I have OU at 10, Notre Dame 11, Texas 12.
Yep. So I believe, did you have BYU 8? I had Texas Tech over BYU.
Okay.
It's going to be a big game.
Oh, yeah.
This coming week. This will probably decide Big 12. So I have Ole Miss 7, Tech 8, BYU 9. This is my honest opinion.
Okay.
Texas number 10.
Okay.
11 Notre Dame, 12 Oklahoma.
Okay. So you just switched OU and Texas?
Yeah.
I can't be mad at it
because of my point, the joke I made if they played in a neutral field, who would win, and Texas won.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I can't be mad at it,
Yeah.
but you can't argue with ESPN rankings because they're never wrong. Anyways, moving into the next, I have Utah at 13.
That's, I like that.
I have Utah at 13.
Yeah.
They absolutely obliterated a team ranked higher than them. They won at home. Yes, they have 2 losses, but so does Texas, so does Notre Dame, so does Oklahoma, right? So keeping that there, I have Utah at 13. I have Virginia at 14, Louisville 15, Georgia Tech 16. In the original AP poll, they have Vandy ranked over Georgia Tech. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
They're the same caliber team, and
Georgia Tech was
one
ranked-
has 2 losses, one has 1.
Georgia Tech was ranked above Vandy, so
Yeah.
I feel like Georgia Tech should still be ranked above Vandy.
Yeah.
But and then moving in, I have Miami 18. I kept them there just to give them their respect.
Yeah.
Not a fan. But then I have Missouri 19. I kept them the same. Who do you got after 12?
So I had 12. As much as I hate to say it, Virginia, we have not been Virginia fans.
We haven't been nice to Virginia.
I don't know. It's just something about
Virginia.
Who cares about Virginia?
They're a basketball school.
Yeah, but no, they keep winning, and with their undefeated ACC play, which is weird.
Yeah.
Their undefeated ACC play, their 1 loss is to NC State.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the year, but
Yep.
that didn't count.
No.
Makes no sense to me.
No.
They beat Louisville, so I have to put them above
Yeah.
Louisville.
Which I think last week I had Louisville above Virginia
Yeah.
just because Louisville came off a really big
Yeah.
win against Miami. But
Yeah, and so I have Virginia, Louisville, Utah up to 15.
okay.
Utah is, again, what I said last week, what I said this week, they blow people out.
Yeah.
It is not close until they play a pretty good team, Texas Tech, or a really good team, Texas Tech and
Texas Tech.
BYU.
Yeah,
and
both are ranked in the top 10.
Yeah, so if you're going to dock them down, come on now.
Yeah, you can't. But moving on, who'd you have at 16?
I had Georgia Tech at 16, Vanderbilt 17. Simply, I was in a bad mood about Miami, so I have Mizzou 18, Miami 19, and I have, going into it, USC at 20. I believe it stay the same. Michigan at 21, Washington at 22. Then the last 3, Memphis at 23, Iowa at 24.
Okay.
They're getting the respect
Okay.
because they're also the only team that's played Indiana close all year.
Yep.
Oregon couldn't even play
Nope.
Indiana close.
Nope.
Iowa lost by 5.
Yeah.
Iowa, and then at 25, James Madison,
Okay. Interesting.
which is funny because Kurt Signetti, Indiana coach, was at James Madison. He
Which-
left, and they're still really good. They're 7-1.
Well, like I said, I have Michigan at 20, Memphis at 21, USC at 22. Lincoln Riley head coach team. I'm not going to give them respect ever.
You should put them over Michigan because they beat them.
Nah, I don't care.
Right.
20. I kept Tennessee in at 23. They're still a good team.
Yeah.
They have 3 losses. I understand why you took them out, but I think they should still be in. Washington at 24, and then I have Iowa at 25, which I had Iowa in my last ranking.
Yeah.
I also thought about putting North Texas in there at 25.
Yeah.
They're 8-1. They just
Yeah.
Who they just beat? Navy. They just beat undefeated
Yeah.
Navy. Pretty bad.
Yeah, it's just no. They're very good. North Texas is very good. I just want to point out, it's funny that Virginia, the reason why is because they have the certified grandpa of college football, Chandler Morris,
Yeah.
former OU quarterback, former TCU quarterback, former North Texas quarterback. Now he's
Yeah.
at Virginia.
It's just pick a.
I
pick a place,
hate
man.
college football
Or
sometimes.
yeah, exactly.
Next segment is our Heisman 5. So what we did last week, we listed our 5 Heisman contenders, and
Yep.
that's what we're going to do again.
Yep. All right. Haynes King is still my number 1. I don't care that they lost. He had 500 yards of offense.
Yeah.
Number 2, Fernando Mendoza. Just absolutely mollywops every team
Yep.
that they play. Number 3, I have Julian Sayin.
Yep.
I gave him his flowers. last week I didn't have him in my list, and he just did that to Penn State, who's still Penn State. But
So they still got talent.
4, Jeremiah Love.
Yep.
He didn't play last week. I don't think.
No, he played this week. He played Boston College, and he had a 94-yard rushing touchdown.
That's what. Okay, I couldn't remember for sure who they played, and
Yeah.
whoever they played, it was probably somebody not good. I was right.
Yeah.
I keep him there, and then I bumped Ty Simpson down. I knocked Ahmad Hardy out.
Yeah.
He hasn't.
He hadn't played, and then he hasn't played
and
against.
He hasn't played good.
Yeah.
But Julian Sayin going from not being ranked to 3, I feel like is a pretty big jump for me. But yeah,
Yep. Julian Sayin, number 1.
interesting.
Julian Sayin, number 1. The dude is next level efficient. He's more efficient than 2023 Bo Nix and 2019 Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
That is the level of completion percentage. He's at 80% right now.
Yep.
And Ohio State is by, you have A&M. To me, they are by far the best team in college football. And the fact that, like, 80% as a...
Hang on real quick. I just a little backtrack. I was very tempted to put Indiana over Ohio State in my rankings.
Yeah.
I was very tempted.
I was very tempted. I just,
I think Indiana is a better 9-0 than Ohio State is.
it's very debatable. Very debatable.
But I gave Ohio State the respect.
I think Ohio State plays. I think they know they're better than everyone. I don't even think they're to their full
Trying yet.
potential yet.
Interesting. Yeah.
That's
I mean, we saw last year.
this is my like. It's a very like bratty take to put it like
Yeah.
the weirdest way, but
Yeah.
like I just truly think that we haven't even seen the true Ohio State. I think they're just taking everyone softly
I
and they're
agree.
still winning.
I agree. All right, who do you have it to?
Fernando Mendoza.
Okay.
Number 3, Ty Simpson still. So I had Ty Simpson at 2, Mendoza at 1. So basically, I just had Julian Sam bump over them.
Nice.
Jeremiah Love at 4, and your boy Marcel Reed at 5.
Nice. Okay.
Overtook Mekhi Lemon because he had 2
Interesting.
catches, but
Yeah.
Marcel Reed has been, one of the best SEC quarterbacks behind Ty Simpson. So
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so now we're gonna predict our games for week 11. Last week we predicted 12 games. Kale went 8-4.
Yep.
I went 9-3. The only difference was the OU Tennessee game,
Tennessee.
and that I picked Maryland. But other than that,
Uh,
we're keeping pretty close. I think we're gonna do our predictions, keep our record of predictions until the end of the season, see who ends up winning. But first game we got is BYU Texas Tech. I have Texas Tech.
I have Texas Tech as well. I
Games
think
at Texas Tech.
games at Texas Tech. I think it's overall just more talent on Texas Tech's side.
Yeah.
They're a legit team.
Whenever I was doing the research, making the little script, whoever was the home team was winning this game.
Yeah.
I think that's how close of a game it's going to be. Oregon, Iowa. I got Oregon. I have Oregon. Don't do it.
Upset
Don't-
alert!
Don't do it.
We know that Iowa is
my
a
gosh.
tough place to play. We know that it is stuff of nightmares whenever you go to Iowa City. Ohio State has figured this out. Penn
Terrible.
State has figured this out.
It's terrible.
2017, Ohio State,
Terrible.
after losing,
It's terrible.
after going 7-1, Maryland.
Terrible.
7-1, and they're going, or they had one loss. They lost to OU that year, and
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
they go to Iowa. Iowa hung like 49 on them somehow, and then we
sorry,
go into
no.
2021, and it's a ranked. This is crazy. It was like a top 5 Iowa versus Penn State matchup. Cursed. That's cursed.
Oh my gosh.
But at Iowa, and they beat Penn State.
No.
Iowa is a
No.
nightmare.
No.
And Oregon,
Oregon's offense is too good.
off a bye, and we saw against Wisconsin, who's probably one of the worst Power 5 teams. They didn't look great. I gave them
not
the
as bad as
benefit of the
Oklahoma
doubt.
State, but anyways.
I said one of the worst.
All
I
right.
said I gave them benefit of doubt, but I'm saying that's my upset, and I'm being bold.
Okay, that's fine, but that's crazy. Anyways,
Maryland, Indiana.
moving on. LSU at Alabama.
Roll Tide. Roll Tide.
Man, give me the Tigers. This is my
Stop it!
this is my big upset of the week. You can have your Iowa pick,
Yeah.
but before we recorded the episode, I was talking about how this would be the one game that LSU wins.
Yep.
Their game coming off of firing Brian Kelly.
As much as I want to say it, this is actually a fairly good upset.
I think it's very reasonable. This is my only really just. I think this is my only big upset other than the one other one, but I think that LSU could win this game.
Mm-hmm.
But I can also see them losing by 30. That's the problem.
Yep.
So I picked LSU just off of, I don't know, rivalry. Indiana, Penn State, Indiana.
Indiana.
Yep. Four touchdowns, I think.
Yeah, they're favored by a lot. I got Indiana.
Yeah.
3. I think actually what will happen is very similar. I think it will be close. We're like, whoa, is this close in first half? And then Indiana pulls away.
Yeah. All right, A&M at Missouri.
TMU.
Missouri is an underrated place to play.
Yeah.
You saw it with Vandy.
Yep.
But we talked about how Vandy might not be that good.
And then Alabama went to Mizzou and beat them.
But it was a close game.
Yep.
It was a really close game. But A&M's the best team in the country, though. That's the difference. So I got A&M going into Missouri. Close game. I think they'll beat them by 10 to 14 points. But Navy at Notre Dame.
No, I don't want to pick either, so it's fine.
You didn't. I'm sorry, my bad.
I didn't want to pick, bro.
I mean, I feel like that last one was so easy that it was like.
Truth be told, I was thinking about it, but I think Texas A&M will pull it out.
Yeah. Sorry, that one was so obvious to me.
Okay, bro.
All right, Navy at Notre Dame. Who you got?
I have Notre Dame. This is a rival. I wish Navy got better players because this would be such a sick rivalry. Because it was a sick rivalry back in when World War II was going around. But Notre Dame's gonna win.
Yeah, Notre Dame's gonna win the game. Moving on to the next one, Northwestern at USC.
Northwestern USC. Fight on, baby. Fight on. That's what we're doing around here.
So you remember earlier when I said that I hate on Lincoln Riley coach teams?
You're gonna pick Northwestern?
I am.
You're so disingenuous.
Northwestern. I picked USC last week. I had them beat Nebraska.
Yeah.
But give me Northwestern. They're gonna go into USC and show that they're the better Big Ten team.
When teams come to LA, they get bopped. So that's fine.
That's fine. Okay, anyways, we're going to talk about the Tulane versus Memphis game.
This is a big game.
Big game. Two very, very good teams. Both of these teams are competing for the last spot.
Yep, last spot. Both of these have head coaching candidates.
They do.
So,
which Memphis is 8-1.
Yep.
8-1. Tulane is 7-2.
Yep. 7-2, 6-2. So, I actually have Tulane in this.
Okay. See, I was very torn. I picked Memphis just because they have a better offense. That is the only difference for me. I think that they are very talented. I mean, they already beat an SEC school once this week. Or not this week. This year, yes, it was Arkansas, but it's still an SEC school. They have a lot more talent than what the American Conference has. But I think whoever wins this game is going to determine who's going to be the number one team other than USF to make it into the playoff. You said Tulane?
Yeah.
I feel like that was a toss-up.
Yeah. John Summerall is getting a lot of head coaching
looks.
Head coaching looks. They have a good quarterback.
Yeah.
Memphis, this is, again, toss-up, but Tulane's my upset.
Yeah. Auburn at Vanderbilt?
Auburn at Vanderbilt. This is my upset.
Interesting.
Auburn, after the firing of Hugh Freeze, I think Vanderbilt... Good story, but I think we will see the humbling of Diego Pavia in
that's interesting.
4K.
See, I had the complete opposite. I think Vandy is going to demolish Auburn, coming off of the Hugh Freeze firing and Jackson Arnold being benched. We just saw it. They just scored 3 points against Kentucky. Kentucky has a really good defense. I'll give them that. But 3 points, come on.
Yeah, it's more of I think Auburn. I actually think Auburn's more talented. They have players. They just don't have a quarterback.
The best receiver in the nation, in my opinion, in Cam Coleman.
Yeah, they don't have a quarterback or a head coach. That's what's keeping them down.
Yeah, exactly. Georgia, Mississippi State. Who knows? Mississippi State may be winning going into the fourth quarter, but
Georgia will
win the
out.
game. Georgia will win the game. Syracuse and Miami. We threw this one in there because Syracuse has played a lot of good teams close. Miami's coming off of 2 back-to-back losses. Carson Beck isn't good at football.
You got the Coos?
I still picked Miami.
Okay.
I still picked Miami. The game is at Miami. That's the only reason I picked Miami. I think Syracuse will give them a close running. I could see Miami winning by as little as a field goal.
Okay. Yeah, I have Miami too. I think actually this is Miami's bounce back week. I think they'll just dog walk Syracuse, but I could see it. This is a stat to know. Saw this. Mario Cristobal is, I believe, he has a 72% win percentage at Miami in the months of August through October.
Interesting.
He has a 27%
That's right.
percent drop, or a 27% chance at winning in November at Miami.
Golly.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Final game, Ohio State at Purdue. Purdue sucks. Ohio State, yeah, that's gonna be,
Purdue's gunning with Oklahoma State for worst Power
but
5
this
team.
would be a Carson prediction, pick Purdue, but that's but I'm not going.
This ain't 2017
But
or
I'm not-
2018.
Yeah.
So
But finally, last episode we did the pretenders and contenders.
Yep.
I feel like there's a lot of the same teams. We decided that we're just going to cut that for this week, but we're going to talk about the 4 biggest head coaching job availabilities. Potentially who could be there. There's so many coaches that could potentially take that job. There could be NFL coaches that could take those jobs. Nick Saban could come out of retirement for all we know.
I genuinely think that's a possibility.
It's a possibility. So Penn State, Auburn, LSU, and Florida are all available. I think James Franklin will take one of those 4 schools. That's the only one that I'm like for sure about.
He will. This is my prediction. He will take Auburn. That is the most Auburn hire for me.
Interesting. I wasn't really. I didn't really put names specifically just because there are so many different options. Indiana's head coach, I would have picked him.
But now everyone's getting extended. Everyone's getting locked up.
Yeah, he sent that. He got that fat contract extension.
Yep.
The only other person that I could think of,
Kiffin's still on the board.
I was about to say off the top of my head, Kiffin. I could see him taking the Florida job.
Florida, I actually do have names. I have Kiffin at Florida.
Okay.
It's just for ball knowledge. It's so Kiffin is very reminiscent of Steve Spurrier, legendary Florida head coach, of just that kind of cocky, boisterous attitude, and the fact that it feels like a hand in glove fit. He's going back to the SEC.
Yeah,
that's for me.
Yeah, but I think that's really interesting. But there wasn't. I'm not fully for sure on my knowledge of coaches.
Yeah,
especially ones that who would fit best with other schools. Because whenever I think about, I don't know, Steve Sarkisian.
Yeah.
I only see him as a Texas coach. I only see Venables as a good defensive coach. I could never see Kirby Smart anywhere else other than Georgia.
Yeah.
Except when he was at Alabama as an assistant. But as a head coach, there are coaches that I only see at that team, but you never know. It's like the transfer portal.
I have just pointed out so I have Franklin at Auburn, Kiffin at Florida. Okay. The 2 LSU and Penn State. Penn State, I have them hiring Brian Hartline from Ohio State, the offensive coordinator, and also former wide receivers coach. The reason why Ohio State has all these sick receivers every year, because that guy. He goes in there and recruits them. He has coached them, and now he's running one of the more efficient offenses in the country. So I think he's a pretty solid hire, especially since they hired Jim Knowles from Ohio State. This seems just, but Penn State is just be Ohio State.
Yeah,
it's a good thing to be Ohio State.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And then for LSU, Bill's offensive coordinator Joe Brady. Joe Brady was the conductor of the 2019 LSU passing game coordinator, offensive coordinator he was the one that basically but ran that offense. They had a different OC, but Joe Brady was what turned that offense around at LSU, and so I think it's a pretty easy hire, and he's doing great at Buffalo. They're the number 1 offense right now.
Nick Saban reunion at LSU.
I thought about that. It's just I think Saban wants to go. I can see him coming out of retirement, but I just think I can see him coming out of retirement. I just don't think he will.
Yeah. One last thing. Is what's going on with Deion Sanders? You think he's gonna get let go? Because he's had 2 back-to-back blowout losses. One of them being to Utah. Utah's really good. But the other one being to Arizona.
So I just want to point out that Oklahoma State has started a trend. We take off our shirts whenever
I did see that.
they took off their shirts
Yeah.
whenever they suck and get blown out.
Yeah.
We started that. I was at the game when that happened. That was sick. But yeah, Dion, I thought this wouldn't happen again. Then it's happening again, and
Yeah, I don't
it's
know.
getting harder and harder to defend.
I don't know. It's just a thought that I had, but
Yeah, we'll leave that up to you guys.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna need thought about that.
Yeah.
So.
But alrighty, that was the second episode of the Cover 2 pod. I hope you enjoyed. Next episode will be us talking about how Week 11 went and our predictions for Week 12. So thank you.
Thank you.